In this segment of From Print to Podcast, we're excited to be joined by a very special guest, Security Lock & Key, a trusted name in the Roanoke Valley for 50 years. As a second-generation, family-owned business, they've provided comprehensive security solutions for both homes and businesses, from locksmith services to advanced alarm systems. They've grown from a humble start to becoming a complete security provider with 3 regional locations. We're here today to learn more about their journey, the evolution of home and business security, and what the future holds, thanks to honor John Perdue. Thank you, John, for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you here. And it's pretty exciting because we're also celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we ought to throw a really good party together. But this is an incredible milestone for you and for your team and your company. And I was curious about what it means for you to be able to share this sort of celebration with the community and your clients.
Yeah. So when we think about 50 years being a small business here in the Roanoke Valley, I'm just humbled that the Roanoke Valley, the community, has supported us for 50 plus years. We're a security company. We're a service company. We are supported by people calling us with their security needs and trusting us to serve them, to meet those needs. And it has taken the community supporting this little small business for it to survive all these years. And so 50 years of that is just amazing. So thank you, Roanoke.
It is quite a remarkable milestone. And, you know, security is a very important conversation to have. It's very important for all of us in our neighborhoods and communities to feel safe. And so I want to talk a little bit more about what your services provide. But before we jump into that, let's talk about the company itself, because how did the company first begin 50 plus years ago now?
Yes, so my father, Quince Perdue, he was in the design engineer beginning the manufacturing process for another local company, which became Medico. And through his old trade, he became interested in the locksmithing trade and started his own small business. He later joined with another local locksmith to form Security Lock & Key. And that just kind of grew over time. It started out in 450 square feet in Tanglewood Mall and served a lot of customers through cutting keys in Tanglewood Mall, just walk-in traffic, or unlocking safes, installing door hardware, and grew to what it is today.
Did he have a particular interest in, like, why locksmithing? Was it something he was drawn to? Did he just see the need and wanted to fill that gap for people?
Yes, so the particular piece of hardware that he was a part of the design team of was a high security cylinder. So it was new to the locksmith world. It was new to the world. Cool.
So he's like on the cusp of the new tech at that point.
Yes. Yeah. So there had not been a real change to the standard pin tumbler cylinder, which everyone who has a residential lock that has a brass key pretty much is used to a standard pin tumbler cylinder. There hadn't been a real change to that technology in over 100 years.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And so when this new change took place, he saw the value in it. He saw needs within the local market, within the industry, and he just kind of pursued that while continuing his design engineer career, and eventually just had to make a choice. Hey, do I want to continue to be a design engineer, or do I want to pursue this locksmith career and pursue my own business? And so eventually he worked in both for many, many years, but eventually he made the choice to, okay, I have to commit all of my time.
Yeah. I think it worked out.
It's been a blessing.
But that's so cool. So not only was he at the forefront of something in the Roanoke Valley, but of the industry as a whole, that he saw a need that the entire nation really kind of needed and was interested in learning about. So that's really, really neat.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you offer a range of security needs. So things involve like card access, master key systems, and alarms. And kind of curious about, it seems obvious, right, that should be important to clients and to your potential clients. But why do you feel it's important? Not just for, making sure that nothing gets stolen out of your house or your residential business.
Yes. So we like I said, we started as a locksmith company. Over time, people's needs have changed, and we have tried to adapt to those changes to just evolve.
Just like you did the very first time.
Yes. And so with the industry changing, with people's needs changing, we needed to offer additional services and products to meet those needs. It just made sense to step into those other segments of the industry, and that's what we've done. What are some of the pieces or services that you offer? Maybe people don't even realize they want to look into those options. Sure. So we are a full service locksmith company. So we do offer your standard door hardware services along the lines of rekeys, unlocks, things that you would immediately probably have pop into your head when you think of a locksmith. When you think about the alarm industry, it's much broader than just, entering a code and arming or disarming an alarm system. So the systems today are providing so much awareness around your home, and so we're providing products and services that allow our customers to just have an awareness of what is going on in and around their home while they're not there, or have a connectivity to their home that they just couldn't have being away. Right. And then in the electronic security segment, card access control, is also much broader than just presenting a card or any other type of credential to a reader and allowing someone through an opening or denying access to an opening. Today's systems integrate with so many other components and just provide so much more data and feedback and control to other systems and components that our customers want to have kind of a downstream connection to. Sure. And so we're able to provide that downstream connection and just kind of provide the centerpiece or the hub for all of that communication to take place. That's super interesting. And you made a point about it's not just about scanning your fob or your card and walking in and walking out, but that's also accountability for a company, making sure that their employees are showing up on time and things like that. I think about in a residential, living in my house. So you think about all the equipment that's available to you now, for example, the front porch doorbells or the cameras right there. And do you guys offer those as well for residential? Yes, okay. Because that's really interesting, not only in the sense of my own security or safety, but if something were to happen in our neighborhood, I know that sometimes the police might ask if you're willing to release that footage or share with them so that they can maybe help with the neighborhood issue. Yes, ma'am. So we do provide your residential cameras, your doorbell camera, things like that for the exterior of your home. There are also applications where I was just talking to a gentleman earlier today to where he is taking care of his elderly mother, but he also has people coming in and assisting with her care. And so there's medication that needs to be, given to her throughout the day, and he's not always the one who would give her that medication, and we can provide things within that residential security realm.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
Would kind of give a little bit of accountability and give him peace of mind that, hey, this is exactly what's being dispensed. And
yeah, that's great. Peace of mind. I think that's the perfect saying. The accountability of making sure that your family member or somebody that you care about is being taken care of in that regard. How interesting. And so in thinking of, again, you talk about some people might not realize you offer those home alarm systems. And so, again, in addition to the obvious concerns of a break-in, other ways that a home alarm system might be beneficial to our listeners?
Yes. So a simple awareness of, say, you may have an older child who comes home.
Great point.
You're still have a couple more hours left in
the latchkey kids as we grew up. Yes,
exactly. Yes, I was one of those. But so the child gets home and there's simply a notification that pops up on your phone that says, "Hey, the door was unlocked and now it's locked back," and you can go back and take a look at that doorbell camera or the other cameras. Oh yeah, little Johnny got home safely, and that is great peace of mind. Also, just how many of us have been in a hurry? We have left the house
this morning,
in a
by
hurry.
the way, about 6 hours ago, actually.
There you go. And did I forget to do this? Did I forget to do that? Did I forget to lock the door? You can just pull up your app and look and, oh, yep, the door is locked, or no, it's not, and hit the button and, okay, now it's locked.
That is the future. That's awesome.
So, just little things like that. We have little receptacles that you could, if you use your coffee maker and you are one of those people that, I forget to, cut the coffee pot off, 2 or 3 times a week for whatever reason, or I'm constantly just forgetting to check that or whatever. Yeah, we could install this little receptacle, and you could just say, you know what? I don't know if the coffee pot switch is off, but I can cut the power off.
Oh my gosh. Does that work for curlers and hair straighteners maybe, by the way? Oh my God. Okay. Well, that's a game changer. Oh my gosh. So that leads me to, we didn't even talk about this question beforehand, but the evolution of what you've seen from start to now in terms of security evolution. The fact that you have a piece of equipment that can tell you to turn your coffee pot off from your phone, that's wild. Yes. I know it's 2024, blah, ha, ha, but that's the future. That's crazy.
Yes.
That's so cool.
So, I kind of, when we're working with a customer and end user and they're bringing us their needs and we're going through the questions, a lot of times I will kind of refer to, yes, our systems could probably make your morning coffee for you if that's something that you really, you present a card and that downstream data, right, that just relay logic. We can do a lot with that.
I love the future.
Inputs and outputs. But it's really what are your needs? What are the things that concern you about your home when you're not at home? If it's I just made a huge investment into all this food that went in my freezer. Okay, well, we can put a device that attaches to your home security system that would be installed with your freezer, and if it fluctuated temperature so much, it's going to send a notification.
John, what?
Yes. What? So we have other devices. If let's say you have you're really concerned about water. Okay. I don't,
sure.
You're concerned about water.
In general.
For whatever reason, around your home, in your home, we can put a little device wherever you're concerned about water.
Man.
That if water reaches up to this device, it will notify you on your phone, and even our central station would give you a call and say, "Hey, I'm just letting you know that we've received this notification that this sensor has gone off." And so
Man.
it's what you're concerned about. It's what your needs are.
I had no idea.
And that's what we're trying to
Yeah.
help you with.
And what I like is what you've just mentioned. You have a team of people who are ready to help and notify you. It's not just you checking your phone, but you have people on the other end who are willing to make sure to make that call, that you're aware of that situation, because maybe I'm in a meeting or out on vacation or whatever, and I'm not checking the app all the time. But I mean, that's super helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's crazy. I love the evolution of that. And so, again, I'm asking selfishly. So, for example, my house was built in 1931. I assume that that's not a problem anymore with, however old your house might be. We did a quite extensive electrical project over the summer. We had knob and tube wiring, so we ripped all that. Well, Ostrom ripped all that out for us and put in all new everything. So the first thing, my husband and I were like, we could really upgrade like all of that stuff that you're talking about. Of course, all the new stuff that I'm hearing about from you is pretty exciting too. But like, how interesting. But you really don't have a problem working with any type of wiring or home age, things like that.
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of our components today are wireless. So before, I'll say before, many years ago, we would go in and pre-wire homes. So, and then the finish work would be done to a home, and then we would come back in. We would know where those wires were pulled, and we would make those final connections and solder everything, and just make sure that everything is working and communicating back to the panel. Where today, with again battery technology, motor technology, all the whole world as technology just evolves, the security industry is aware of these evolutions here and there, and they take advantage of them to provide better products and services for the end user.
Yeah. Do you find it easier, or, well, I guess easier that things are wireless now compared to where they were before?
We do.
Yeah.
It's a it is amazing the battery life that we get out of products today. It's amazing. There's some products that we have today that do not even have a battery in the components, that they still, as they interconnect, they actually generate enough electricity to communicate with one another and to deny access, grant access, actually unlock.
Wow.
And it's quite amazing. So
it sounds amazing. I mean, I had no idea. Granted, I knew I was going to learn a lot coming into the segment, but like to have, to look for water or to turn your, freezer at the appropriate temperature, like that's really intelligent.
Yes.
Just really smart. And again, I love that you have someone on your end kind of making sure to keep tabs on things. And if I'm busy or otherwise occupied, that they'll notify me. That's really important too. I mean, that's a really great feature.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, again, you're a family-owned business, clearly. Your dad has taught you well. What values do you think are essential in helping you build and maintain these strong relationships for 50 years?
Yes. So, honesty, craftsmanship. Honesty, I mean, we were raised in church, and we were just taught the golden rule from an early age, and just communicate honestly to do what we say that we're going to do, to stand behind our work. And I believe that goes right along with craftsmanship, to do your work well. Do it in a way that honors the Lord, do it in a way that you would want done for you. And yes, that's just how we work. It's how we've always worked. I'm not saying that that's how we work every single time. We are human. We make mistakes, but we stand behind what we do. And I think that just honesty and craftsmanship just kind of allow us to have that integrity with our customers.
Well, for 50 years, I think something's working. So
well,
I think it's working all right. And again, I going back, I love the customization of what you offer. I think that's really important. I don't have kids, but my neighbor does, and our needs are different. But like how important it is for us to hit the high notes of what we're really looking for. So I think that's a really great opportunity. And I love that you're mentioning craftsmanship, because I'm not sure, how much you might put together and create yourself. I mean, I'm sure you're putting together pieces in your offices as far as how do we help this customer with their very specific, what's like the oddest request you've ever gotten? I got to know. I know it's kind of like on the top of your head. And might be sorry to put you on the spot.
No. A lot of the things that I love engineering solutions. So a lot of things that I get to be a part of today with my team really kind of lands more on the commercial side, where we are trying to integrate this system with this system with this system, and we want this sequence of operation to take place. And a lot of times that may involve an access control system, so presenting a card and coordinating that with door operators and coordinating that with other systems. And I just love kind of figuring out the puzzle and thinking about the relay logic, and I don't know, I kind of geek out over that. And
you know what? I'm glad you do.
Really go down a rabbit hole.
Well, it means you're in the right spot. You're in the right task for you. So I think that works out. All right. So before we leave, wanted to talk about one last bonus question. This is your chance to crow about all your local loves. So, in the area when you're not, establishing security for all our residential and businesses, where are you going, eating, playing in our region? Who do you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah. So, I love doing anything outdoors.
Okay. You're in the right place.
So, absolutely. So, the Roanoke Valley just has so much to offer for someone who loves to hike and hunt and fish and just be outside. And so I love that. My wife and I, we enjoy going to River and Rail.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
so
a good one.
We just when we get a date night, a lot of times that will be pretty high on the pick list.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I was born and raised in Salem, and so I've spent a lot of meals at Mac and Bob's. And
who hasn't?
Yes,
I'm not from here, but I've spent plenty of time there too.
So really, really enjoy so much of what they have to offer. So.
Excellent. Well, thank you again so much for being on our show today, sharing some local love and telling us all about the security that we really need. I think it's really important for us to think about that, particularly in this day and age. And so thank you for providing your services. And of course, again, congratulations again for 50 years. Security, Lock and Key's journey has been kind of amazing to learn about, both in our partnerships in our print magazine, of course, in our latest issue. And then just hearing you talk and learning about this today has been fascinating.
Well, thank you. And again, I just... so grateful for Roanoke and just thank you for allowing us to serve you for 50 years. It's been awesome. Thank you.
Well said. Couldn't be better said. Thank you again to John Perdue for sharing more about Security Lock and Key's journey over the past 50 plus now years and the valuable security solutions they provide. Whether you need locksmith services, an alarm system, or a security assessment for your home or business, Security Lock and Key is ready to help. Thank you again to John and our listeners for joining us today. And here's to the next 50 years of keeping our community safe.